All right, so first of all, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm doing great, great. Can you tell everybody what your name is, please?
My name is Ruth Jackson Smith.
All right, Ruth Jackson Smith. Okay, now tell everybody who doesn't know. All right, tell us about yourself. Like, tell us where you're from. Where you were born. And how you grew up.
Okay. Well, I was born in Madison, Alabama on 4 November 1950 to Otter Jackson and Fannie Parish. And I lived with my father for a while. And then he took me to Abbeville where I went to live with my grandmother, Caroline Jackson. And I stayed there until I was 9 years old. And then when I was 9 years old, my grandmother and I moved to Huntsville to stay with my Aunt Sudella and my Uncle Riley. And from 9 years old till today, I have been living in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So, all right. So you came up. So you left with your daddy. So did you have any like brothers and sisters or anything, or how's your other family or whatever the case?
Well, yeah, I was living with my daddy was married before he met my mom, and he had 4 children,
Mm-hmm.
and Ollie Jackson Jr., Johnny Jackson, Toot, and Ollie Mae, and I lived with them for a while. And as a matter of fact, it was my sister Ollie Mae that actually took me to Abbeville to my grandmother, and we're close. We're still close today. My brother Bo and my sister Toot are deceased.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So you made it to the point. You say you went to Huntsville when you were like 9 years old and went to go live with Uncle Riley and Aunt Sudella.
Hmm.
All right. Cool. So now when you got there, how was that situation for you, or how did you come up there?
Well, my Uncle Riley and Aunt Sudella came to Abbeville to get us,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought us to stay with them.
Now again. Hey, so you said okay. So you moved from Albertville to Huntsville when you was 9 years old. So tell us about the experiences over there living with Uncle Riley and
Well,
those guys.
they had nine children. Three of them was gone, but so there was six at the house. So it was fun. I was the youngest of the bunch, so therefore I had to do a lot of the chores, which most of the time the youngest have to do.
Right.
But we had some good times. I remember time when Susan May would go outside and scratch on the window and scare us to death, and we be running, and then we'll find out it was her. So we had some good time. That was some good memories.
Okay.
My grandmother and I stayed, and my grandma was primarily responsible for me,
Mm-hmm.
and she had always prayed that she wanted to see me graduate from high school.
Okay.
So that 1968, she got sick, and she started not feeling good in May, and she was in the hospital in June, and I graduated from high school in June, and she died that August the 4th, and that's strange. She died August the 4th, 1968, and I just thought it was special that my first child, which was you, was born on August the 4th.
Mm.
And I was a little bit lost when she died because she did, she ironed my clothes and did everything for me, and all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden I had to learn how to iron, and do stuff for myself.
Okay.
Well, I graduated from high school, and then I went to trade school, and I graduated from J.F. Drake Trade School, and I got my first career job at Alabama A&M. But I kind of like didn't feel I was going anywhere.
Okay.
So I joined the army to get away from home so I could see the world.
So what did you do? I never knew that you worked at A&M. What did you do over
I
there?
worked in the library. I,
Oh.
I was a cataloger. When the new books came in,
Mm-hmm.
I logged them in and put the card and paste the card that's in the book where they stick the checkout card in.
Mm-hmm.
I did those and put the books out on the floor.
Okay, good. Now, what did you study at the trade school? You say you was Drake.
Executive secretary.
Okay, executive secretary. Okay, cool. Now you say you got to the point where you say you went go to the military,
Right.
right? All right. So tell us a little bit about that, how that went down.
Well, I decided. Well, my cousin Floretta talked me into joining the military. So I took out walking downtown. Back then, the recruiting station was next door to one another. The building was like an L-shaped building.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I joined the army because that was the first door that I got to.
So
It was a long walk. I was tired.
right. So you say Floretta talk. How did she talk you into joining the military?
She has told me that if I stayed in Huntsville, I wasn't gonna be able to do nothing because Uncle Robert was real strict with me.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, I need to get away from the house so I could be able to see the world and have some freedom.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you said okay, so you said you said the army door was the first door you came to.
Yes.
All right, got it. So what was that like walking into that door?
I just walked in there and told them I wanted to join the army, and they gave me a test, and I wasn't good in math,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't pass. So they told me to go get the book, go buy a book. So I did, and my cousin Leela's husband, he was real good at math, so he tutored me.
Is that Robbie?
No, his name was Emmett.
Oh, Leela. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Leela's husband.
Mhm.
Emmett. He tutored me for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went back, I was able to pass the test,
Okay.
and I went to Montgomery to the recruiter station and signed in, and then I went to Fort McClellan. And when I came in the old army. I came in when the females had their own army, and it was called the WACS.
What's the WAC stand for?
Women Army Corps.
Okay.
And I did my basic training at Fort McClellan, which we didn't fire no weapons. We just did stuff like charm, learning how to walk. It was, stuff like that.
Is that right?
Uh-huh. I didn't fire a weapon until I made Spec 5 when I had Specialist 5 when I had come back to Redstone.
Mm-hmm.
Then they passed a law that all females must fire a weapon.
Okay.
So that's when I had made E5 before I ever fired a weapon.
So how long did it take? How long did it take you to make E5? Like.
I made rank real fast.
Okay.
I made in basic training. I mean AIT. I made 2 ranks in 1 month.
Oh, okay.
So I was a PFC when I left AIT.
Okay.
And then when I got to in New Jersey, I was stationed in New Jersey. When I got to New Jersey, I made Spec 4.
Go ahead.
When I went to New Jersey, I made Spec 4. And then when I came to Redstone, I made Spec 5.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny about that, that's how I met your daddy.
Okay.
We was at a promotion board together, and we got to talking, and come to find out he was in the wrong place.
Oh yeah.
Cause I was in the headquarters of MyCom. That was the main. That was the headquarters that was over the.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the school, but he was in the school.
Okay.
And they had their own separate board. He had got mixed up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Funny how things work out, right? Okay. Hey, so now we talk about. You said, okay, so you just went to New Jersey. That's your first duty station. It is at Fort Dix.
No, it was at Atlantic Highland. It was a missile site base up on a mountain.
Okay, I don't know.
It was a secret place.
Oh, tops G14 classified. Okay, so tell us about so you in the army and you just got away from home for the first time. Tell us a little bit about how you felt and some of the experiences of shipping off for the first time.
Well, when I went to basic training, and the drill sergeant came up hollering at us, told us to get off the bus, and we got 5 minutes to get back out. I was scared, and then we had been in formation at 4:30 that morning, I was crying. I said, Lord, what have I got myself into?
Mm-hmm.
But as it went on and I met friends, I enjoyed the freedom. I
Okay.
mean, but basic training wasn't freedom, but it was a different kind of
Like,
life.
okay.
And then when I went to AIT, I really enjoyed it because they weren't strict on us at AIT. We
Mm-hmm.
just had to. They told us what time that we could leave and what time to be back, and and you was on your own. You had to be back.
Right.
But because I had good upbringing, I never did miss curfew. I was
Mm-hmm.
always back. Matter of fact, I was always back earlier than what I was supposed to be.
Right. Okay. 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 Did you have like male drill sergeants or female drill sergeants?
Oh, but in basic training, I only had female.
Mm-hmm.
But in AIT, I had male.
Drill sergeant.
Male drill sergeant.
Okay. Cool. So now, did you meet Daddy? You said you met Daddy at a board. Did you? Where was the board at?
Redstone.
Okay, got it.
Redstone.
So before we go there, so tell us a little bit about New Jersey and the experience of being there by yourself, and how long were you there?
I was there probably almost 2 years. I think maybe 2 years.
2 years. So this is your first 2 years in the military.
But I didn't really. That was the best assignment that I had. But when you're in something, sometimes you don't realize how good it is until you leave.
Right.
It was wonderful. It was only about 200 people on the base. And like I say, it was secret people down the bottom of the mountain didn't know we was up there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just 200 people assigned to the whole base. And when they went home, it was only about 20 single people that lived in the barracks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the soldiers ran the little shop at
Right.
and the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
So he had the key. So we would go in there when we got ready and get eggs, and it was just like a grocery store, but we didn't pay for it. We just went there and got it.
Right. Okay.
So that was really that was one of my best assignments.
Now, while you were in New Jersey, what area did you get to travel up there in that part of the map? Did you ever travel?
Yeah, I got you. We went to Fort Dix a lot.
Okay.
And we went to Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, because the girl that was from Huntsville that went in with me, she had a cousin that lived in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to go over there on the weekends and then go to Philadelphia has one of the biggest shopping centers in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and called the King of Prussia. When we used to go there a lot, and plus we was someplace in New Jersey, wasn't that far. That's where all the stars came. Gladys Knight, The Temptation, Al Green. So I got a chance to go see all them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so I enjoyed it. That
Okay.
was fun.
Okay.
The only thing I regret is that we didn't go up East Coast. I wish we had went up to like Boston and Vermont
Mm-hmm.
and Maine and South, but we never went up that way.
Right. Okay. Said that you met Daddy at a board. Both of y'all was going to the board. He was in the wrong place, and then you guys kind of got together. So how was that experience? How did you guys start talking? Because people, a lot of folks would be like, "Hey, oh, you in the wrong place. Okay, see you, bye." But how did you guys actually start?
I don't remember good,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we started dating after then, and we dated for 2 weeks,
Okay.
and then we got married,
Okay.
and then we went overseas to Korea, and then we came back, and then we went to Germany, and I got out. The reason why I got out in Germany because I had you,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a strict commander. Well, he was a Mormon,
Mm-hmm.
and he believed that women should be at home. He didn't believe in women working, so he was mean.
Okay.
And one night, you got sick, and you ran 105 temperature,
Mm-hmm.
and you were going into convulsion, and I ran upstairs.
Wow.
Because you were my first child,
Mm-hmm.
away from home, so I didn't know. I thought I was reading this thermometer wrong. So I
Mm-hmm.
ran upstairs to one of my neighbors, and by the time I got up there, your temperature had jumped to 106, and she told me I was reading it right, and I need to get you to the doctor right away. So I took you to the. I knocked on my neighbor's door, and he got up and took me to us to the clinic,
Mm-hmm.
and they got your temperature down, but they told me to bring you back the next morning because they wanted to see what was making your temperature go up that high.
Right.
So I did. I took you back to the doctor, which meant that I missed formation, and I had got promoted to E6,
Mm-hmm.
and back in that time, E6 was a top thing for a female. You didn't see no female E7s, and
Right.
E6 was if you made E6, you was it.
Okay.
So so when I missed formation, he wanted to give me the commander wanted to give me an Article 15 because he said I was setting a bad example for other female soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
and that I should have let my babysitter took you to the doctor.
Wow.
So
Wow.
so I went home and told Joy it was time for me to get out because there will always be an army. But if I lose that, if you die, I wouldn't I wouldn't have you, and I didn't want I didn't want that. So I got out so I would take care of you. And Joel, he was an ammo person, so he went TDY a lot. So
Okay.
that meant that, and I had to go to the field, so that meant that in the wee hours of the morning, I had to try to find a babysitter for you.
Okay.
And so it was just too hard. So I got out so that I could, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being a stay-at-home mom with you. It was fun. You were a good baby.
Okay. Okay. Hey, so I want to move back because we talked about, you and Dad is at the board. So you guys got married. You guys were together 2 weeks, and then you guys got married. So talk about how that life went after that. How long were you guys at Redstone before you left to your next place?
Well, I can't remember exactly how long
Mm-hmm.
we were there, but I came down on orders for Korea.
Okay.
Your daddy, they wasn't gonna send your daddy, but because I worked in personnel
Mm-hmm.
and I cut the orders,
Huh.
my boss told me just go ahead and cut the orders for him too.
Huh. Okay.
They said let Korea worry about it when he get there.
Okay.
So that's what I did. So when we got to Korea, they called me in there, and they were in processing. So I told them, I said, my husband is here. They said, your husband here? Where he at? I said, he's sitting outside. So they went and got him. So and they assigned him. They couldn't sign us to the same place,
Mm-hmm.
but he was in Korea.
Right.
And he wasn't that far away because I could catch a bus and be where he was in about 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay. Cool. So you use your personnel powers. All right, got it. They do that today. It's all about who you know, what you can do.
Right.
Okay, that's good. All right, got it. So you guys went to Korea. So how was that life like, newly married, in Korea? How was that like?
Well, it was all right. I mean, we couldn't live together. He lived in the barracks where he was, and I lived in the barracks. Now I enjoyed it because when I got to the First Signal Brigade,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have First Signal Brigade. Didn't have room for females,
Okay.
so they didn't know what to do with me. So what they did, they put me in a maintenance company. They borrowed a room from a maintenance company that had females.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's what, and I was the rankingest female, even though I wasn't the maintenance person.
Mm-hmm.
I was the rankingest female.
Right.
So I got the room. They had one room in there that had a bathroom in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that, and with another girl, and it was fun because when they get inspected, their room get inspected.
Mm-hmm.
I could still be in my bed. They couldn't touch me. They command nobody. They couldn't say nothing to me.
Okay.
So I never got inspected. you know, they would come in the room and then, why you in the bed? And my roommate would say, she don't belong to us.
Right.
So they said, okay.
Right.
So I be laying in my bed watching them go through, getting inspected and stuff. And stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Okay, yes.
So after you know, when you're joint domicile, you're supposed to stay in the country 2 years.
Right.
So so I went to my personnel over there, and I told them that we didn't come over there as a joint domicile. They just got there, and we wasn't staying together. So I didn't think it's fair to make us stay over there 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they said okay. So they let us leave in a year.
Right.
And we came back to Redstone.
Okay.
And we I was signed to MyCom, and he was signed back over to the school, and we lived in the housing. And then this time, I think he came down on orders to Germany,
Okay.
but this time they approved the joint domicile.
Okay.
So we still could not be signed. We still could not be signed to the same base because of his MOS and mine.
Mm-hmm.
But where he was, I could walk from where I was to him if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I could walk to where he would. It was kind of like a long walk, but I could walk.
Right.
So we would stay in the housing, and that's where you were born.
So this is in Heilbronn?
In Heilbronn.
So you guys moved to Germany in like the late 70s?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think 79.
Okay.
77 or something like that. I can't remember the dates.
Yeah.
But we was in Heilbronn, and I got pregnant with you over there. That's where I got out of the army, in Heilbronn.
Okay.
I got out of the army in September, and I think in October your daddy had come down on orders. Your daddy had applied to be now he had already made warrant officer, but
Okay.
he had to go to warrant officer school.
Okay.
So in October he got assigned to Fort Rucker.
Yes.
And I got out the military over there. That's what I got out.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Greenville, Alabama. You and me went to Greenville, Alabama.
Okay.
And your daddy went to Fort Rucker.
Okay. And how long did you stay in Greenville?
Probably about 4 months.
Okay.
I'm thinking about 4 months. But what I didn't know, I was pregnant with Maurice.
Oh. Okay.
I found out I was pregnant with Maurice in Greenville.
Okay.
And so when your daddy finished warrant officer school, he got assigned to Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Okay.
So we went to Fort Polk, and we stayed at Fort Polk for about 2 or 3 years, and then we went back to Germany to Mannheim.
Right. Now that's what.
And that's where you started to school.
Yeah. I remember Mannheim.
And you told me that when you graduated from high school, you wanted to come back to Mannheim because in your mind, your friends were gonna still be there.
Right.
I had to explain to you that after you graduate high school, it's gonna be different people over there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Still end up going back though.
So then when we got in Mannheim, Joel got sick. Your daddy got sick with diabetes.
Okay.
He didn't know what it was at the time, so they gave him a medical separation, and that's how we ended up back in Huntsville.
Okay, so you say that you said Daddy got sick and got medically discharged from the military, and then you guys were out. So what did you do after that? Like, how was that?
Okay, well, the reason why we came back to Huntsville, because I always wanted to come back to Huntsville.
Why is that?
Because that's where my family was.
Okay.
Huntsville was really the only place, I really knew. And being that Joel was from Greenville, he agreed because, they ain't that far apart.
Right.
So we came back to Huntsville, and we lived first we got an apartment on Chasewood, which it didn't take me no time to adjust. I liked being out of the military. because I had gotten where I hated the military
Why is that?
because of the way that commander was treating me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy back then, and I was catching flack too. And matter of fact, I caught more flack from the black because I made rank real fast. I made staff sergeant, and I caught more flack from the black guys that I did the white ones.
Why is that? What,
That's why I
what,
was shocked. I figured it'd be the white one would be mad because I got promoted.
you said the black people were mad?
Yeah, the black males.
Oh, why were they mad?
Cause I made E6 and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They were still E5s,
Right.
and I had made E6.
Yeah.
But anyway, we came back to Huntsville, and your daddy got a money. That's how we survive. That's how we live.
Mm-hmm.
And then we stayed in apartments. I think we got back in like February. And then your dad, we stayed about a month in Tazewell. Then we bought that house over there where I live now.
Right.
And your daddy had got a lump sum, so we paid cash for that house.
Mm-hmm.
And we moved in that house, and a month after we moved in, I got a job. I got picked up at the Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
And your daddy didn't get picked up, but he finally got picked up at the post office.
Okay.
So
now, and that was like, 86,
87.
87.
It was 87. I got picked up temporary at the Corps of Engineers. I worked for 14 months there, and I was praying that none of us was sick because I didn't have no. When you're temporary, you don't have no benefits.
Mm.
And God was good. None of us got hurt or sick, and I got picked up permanently on the Arsenal in 1988. I went to work, and I've been working ever since. And when I left the Arsenal, I went to military personnel,
Mm-hmm.
and then in 1999, they did away with my job.
Okay.
But I got picked up at another organization called RASA,
Mm-hmm.
Rest on Arsenal Support Activity.
Okay.
And I worked there for almost 2 years, and then they did away with my slot again,
Mm-hmm.
and I got picked up at the Corps of Engineers again
Okay.
in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next when 2001, I worked for 15 years at the Corps, and I retired with a total of 38 years.
So when you when you got out, you kind of worked in the same field that you had been working the whole time?
Yeah, personnel. I worked when I got out. I went back into my old job when I got out. I got picked up in military personnel.
So
Then I moved out. When I left military personnel, I moved into another area. I was like a transportation assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I left there, I went to the Corps, back to the Corps as a transportation assistant. And then I got promoted. And then this girl had, when you work for the government and you go somewhere else, you have a year that you can come back if you don't like your old job.
Mm-hmm.
So when I took that job, they didn't tell me that I was on a borrowed slot.
Okay.
But so that girl decided that she wanted to come back. So they had to find somewhere to put me.
Mm-hmm.
So which worked out for my benefit.
Right.
So they put me upstairs as a secretary or administrative assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got promoted to a program support technician. And then I got promoted to a project management specialist. And I was able to retire this past December 31st.
This
last year.
of 2000. What year is that?
15.
2015.
And I really haven't had no time to be at home because I came when I retired. In a couple of days, I was up here in North Carolina with you.
Right.
And I've had a ball. I've got a chance to spend a lot of time with my grandkids.
Okay.
So now today I'm getting ready to fly back home. So I'm looking forward to start my retirement life at my house.
Oh yeah. So what's like at least one or two things you plan on doing now that you retire? I know you didn't really have time to be retired before you came up here to visit us.
I got some major housework I gotta do.
Okay.
I got some a major plumbing issue.
Okay.
So I gotta get that fixed. I just got a lot of work to do on my house because I couldn't afford it and I wasn't able to do it. So now I gotta do just little projects, small projects, one at a time till I get one thing done, then I save my money up and get something else done. But I want to get my house in order
Okay.
and travel.
All right, and that's one of our questions. You know, when me and Keon was coming up with the questions. So, what would be like a dream place you would like to see, or just a place you say, hey, now that I'm retired, I would like to go visit or go to?
I really don't have no dream place. My traveling will probably be with my sister. Her
Oh, yeah.
granddaughter always takes us somewhere on her birthday in August. So wherever they go, I'm gonna be right there with them.
Hey, so you know you've done a lot of traveling within the last year and a half. You know, talk about some of the places that you've been.
Well, I've always wanted to go to Jamaica. I've always wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, I was blessed to go to Jamaica. My niece got married, and I was blessed to go to her wedding. And then I was blessed. She took my sister to Bahamas for her birthday, and I was blessed to go to the Bahamas. So I went to Jamaica in April, and in August went to the Bahamas.
Wow, 4 months apiece. That's good. Or 4 months apart or something.
And then when we get back in February, I will be going on another trip with her.
What do you mean? Oh, you talking about this February now? Okay. Where y'all scheduled?
Don't ask me.
Okay, got it. All right, that's great. That's great. That's good. So, all right, that's good times. All right, good. Well, hey, I tell you what, you know, we've enjoyed this time here, you know, talking to Ruth Jackson Smith. And I tell you what, I found out a lot of stuff that I didn't know just in this little process right here. So hopefully down the road, we look to do this again. And thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye. All right.